Pokemon. So we had some Pokemon news this week as well. So the second part of the DLC and the date that it's coming out, which is later this month. So this is the Crown Tundra. Probably the biggest call out here is, and this has been a massive controversy around this Pokemon game, around not having the full Pokedex, that they're bringing back every single legendary into Crown Tundra. And the one thing that I called, that I was just expecting to happen, and I know that a lot of commentators were thinking it wasn't, but that they are grouping together the base Pokemon game and the DLC into a single cart for Christmas. And it's very kind of unoriginal in terms of how they're branding it. It's just literally sword or shield, and then it sort of just has this huge thing at the front that says includes the expansion pass, which I'm surprised they didn't just go down that route of calling it like Ultra Sword or Ultra Shield. But yeah, like you could see this coming from a mile away. There's a lot of people who still can't get or don't want to bother about buying the DLC, so they just want the full version for their kids for Christmas.
Look, if they change the name of it, you'd see Pokemon. I'm sorry, I'm going to put the Pokemon community down on blast here, just like you put me on blast. They're some of the that community is so fickle about things that just seem like they just don't matter to anyone else. And I think if they named it Ultra, you'd have a whole bunch of people just being like, this isn't a true Ultra version. We were used to getting all these different upgrades. Like, I think it makes sense for them just to be straightforward and say it's Sword and Shield plus these expansions. And when I say fickle, it's more about the Pokédex thing is 100%. I think I understand that one. But there's just so many other things. I think, what was that Pokemon MOBA game that got announced, and then suddenly it was the worst thing in the world. It was like the worst thing in the world that they announced this separate game. So I think they did the right thing to just name it like that, honestly. But I don't really have much. I don't really have a big part to play in this because I haven't played a Pokemon game since Pokemon Red on the Game Boy. So.
Well, look,
not counting like Pokemon Stadium or something on 64. I've played some random other stuff, but not a main one.
I have to say, I don't want to lean into the Pokemon community, but I kind of do actually get the... Look, this is the thing, and I'm definitely a capitalist. Pokemon, they basically sell the same amount of units every time for an insanely, relatively small amount of work. It's like the biggest cash cow the world has ever seen. Like the Pokemon franchise, like from a value perspective, is the number one franchise ever. Like it's more than Star Wars, more than Mickey Mouse, more than Toy Story, more than all these other franchises. It's number one, Pokemon. Like in terms of the toys it sells, mobile, the games themselves. So they kind of got zero incentive because they're still just banking money. Zero incentive to do what I want them to do. Like I would love if one of these mainline games, they actually put in real effort into it. And I'm not saying like a Breath of the Wild Pokemon, but like something where you can legitimately say they've put in a lot of effort into this game and it's different. I think at that stage I'd go, you know what, I might dive back into it. But the thing is, it's like a slow evolution of the game that we played back on the Game Boy. And it's not really that much different, like really. And the other thing that I think is funny with this is, surprisingly for Nintendo, that they're going to release the DLC earlier than the cart version, which has everything in it, but it's only like a week or two earlier, and they've obviously already finished it because to make those carts, they have to like be done at least 6 weeks. I think is the absolute minimum. So that means they're just sitting on the DLC now. It's like fully finished, and they're just waiting to get it close to the date of when the carts come out. But, not close enough so that the Pokemon community is not going to totally crack the shits.
It's not that long. It's less than a month, so...
Yeah, I know, but it's funny, though, because they could have released... Yeah, I know. It's just normally, if they have it, people have been waiting for it for quite a while now, the DLC, so, yeah. But, and then the other one is this whole Pokemon Home thing. It's the most confusing thing ever, and the way it works is just... It's just so bad. Like people who are so deep into Pokemon, it's so confusing how you have to set it all up. And they're making it a little bit easier so you can actually take your Pokemon from Pokemon Go, the mobile game, into Pokemon Home. But it's not easy to get it back out, and it's a total mess. And my wife is into Pokemon a lot, but she just can't be bothered with this Pokemon Home stuff because it's so confusing.